What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, Stephen A. Smith made his triumphant return to ESPN First Take today on a yacht, assuming it's a yacht, at least a boat, chilling out nice and relaxing, all cool, and talking about b-ball outside of school. They started talking about KD and whether or not, if he was Stephen A., if he was the Brooklyn Nets owner, Joe Tsai, would you trade him? And then he goes into his put the camera on me shtick. And when he does that, that's when he's about to roast a nigga. You know? That's when Stephen A. Smith get ready to roast a nigga. But put the camera on me. Put the camera. I got enough of the highlights. I'm about to roast this nigga. I'm about to flame, bro, whopper roast this nigga. You know. And talk about how he wouldn't trade him. He'd make his ass play and all this. And I mean, look. Okay, fine. That's fine, Stephen A. But I know the situations aren't exactly the same. But I can't help but think of your reaction when James Harden forced a trade from the Houston Rockets after he signed a new deal. He forced a trade. And I didn't see nearly the same energy with that situation from you as is with KD. I'm flummoxed. I'm flabbergasted. I'm befuddled. Because with that, your tone was more like, well, look, James Harden's one of the greatest scorers this game has ever seen. The brother's box office. At the end of the day, look, I mean, every move that he's made, I mean, do I approve everything he's done? No. But look, sometimes as a superstar, when you want out, there's certain movements and procedures you go through that, are part of the whole schematics, the schematics of the situation. Man, shut the fuck up, man. Like, you just play favorites so much, man. So, all right. So, the reason why, if I recall correctly, the reason why James Harden left Houston is because he didn't think that team that they had would be sufficient to win a championship. Right? Now, KD. Now, look, I've told you all, I don't approve of all of the player moving around. But I'm attacking his hypocrisy. Because I see some people say that I be all over the place. No, I'm not. I'm just a deep fucking thinker that think things through on an intricate level, and some people can't follow me. That's why you have to listen to all my fucking videos. Because if you just listen to the fucking... This is what some people do. They're critics of mine. They read the titles and look at the comment section and then make a conclusion as to what I'm saying in the video. And you can never fucking do that. Not with me. So anyway, I'm attacking his hypocrisy here. Kevin Durant wants out because he thinks this team is not going to be competitive. Now, has the ownership acquiesced to his demands? And that's partially why people like, hey, how the fuck do you want to get out of here? Why the fuck do you want to leave? And this team has done everything that you said that they want. They've acquiesced to all your demands. You guys was cool with Steve Nash going there. You guys blew up the team and added James Harden. Right? You guys done all of that shit. You asked for all of this stuff. It didn't work. And now all of a sudden, you want out. But I also say, Houston, Daryl Morey, I should say, did everything to field a team that was winnable as far as championships for James Harden. As a matter of fact, can't we argue that James Harden had more success in Houston than Kyrie and KD have had with Brooklyn. They went to a conference finals that they should have won. Twice. 2 years in a row they should have won. They should have beaten them in 2018 when KD was on that super team. They should have beat them then. It took a 0-for-27 historic choke job, which included Harden, to lose that series when Chris Paul was hurt. And then the next year, without KD, you let fucking Steph Curry take over the fucking game in Houston with a team that you should have scored 50 points in that game. You scored 30 the first three quarters and only had 4 or 5 in the fourth with 4 turnovers in that quarter because you're a choke artist motherfucker. Then they get Russell Westbrook. That's the best Russell Westbrook has played from a statistical standpoint, even though he did play like shit in the bubble against LA. But the fact is, the team did everything they could to help him win. But when they went into a rebuilding process, he said, fuck this team. Became the worst fucking, employee, fighting with teammates, fighting with DeMarcus Cousins, throwing basketballs at people. Then went out after the last game he played and said that this team can't win. And that forced the trade. They had to get rid of him. I didn't see any of that energy from Stephen A. Smith with that situation. I got a problem with all these players doing this shit, man. I got a problem with all these players trying to all of a sudden hold franchises hostage, reneging on agreements that they've made as far as contracts. Now, look, I understand people are going to say, well, owners trade the players, and I'm not trying to side with owners, but it is an employer-employee relationship. Until you start having more players go the Michael Jordan route and probably the LeBron James route and become owners, because the players eventually are going to acquire enough wealth to be able to start becoming owners. And then maybe in the ownership level, you might have former players who understand what it's like to be players, but at the same time, that's not going to work either, because when you're an owner, you look at shit differently. It's the business. But anyway, it is what it is. I don't want to go down that route too much, man. At the end of the day, it still is an employer-employee relationship. The players are the ones that fans come to see. We don't come to see the fucking owners sit behind their desk farting and shit. That's just not what players come to play for. Fans come to watch the games. They come to watch the players. So I sympathize tremendously with what the players are going through. And I still think players are underpaid. But when you start fucking with the product, when players, are holding out these Ben Simmons / James Harden, Kevin Durant contract demands, when players are staying out an entire season because, hey, they claim they want to be 100% like Kawhi Leonard, when players are not playing, even trying to play 72 games anymore. Hell, if you just play 70 games, that's good enough for most fans. But now these guys only want to play 55, 60 games. At the end of the day, as a fan, what do you want me to say? Well, I'll watch this diminished product. I'll celebrate this diminished product where the game already, to me, is subpar to the game that I grew up watching. Now the players don't want to play, and they've done everything to make the game more friendly toward the players. Fuck out of here, man. At the end of the day, man, I'm just, So on that, fuck KD and all of them. But in this situation, Stephen A. Smith is a fucking hypocrite. So I hope I made it as transparent as possible to those who say, oh man, this guy all over the place.